Welcome back to the So Over It podcast
with Enya and Jordan.
And Jordan and Enya.
Bye. So, welcome back to the podcast. We know we're late this week. We were absolutely up to our eyes on Thursday trying to get our last few bits ready for the gossies.
Yep.
So we released it a bit later this week on a Sunday, so you'll have some nice listening going to bed tonight for the week ahead. So we are going to start off the podcast talking about our experience at the gossies because it was absolutely mental.
Yeah.
I remember when I went 4 years ago and it was like double the size it is now, probably triple the size it is now.
It was a proper event, wasn't it?
There was like 25 fucking tables at it. Like, imagine having a wedding that big.
I know. Yeah, it was like a wedding, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like a top-notch wedding.
Yeah, it was in the convention centre. I've never been to an event in the convention centre, so it was lovely to see the inside of that. But yeah, it was very professional.
Yeah.
So
even the lead up to it was just so stressful. Like, we have no idea, like the fucking drama the two of us had with our outfits. So the team was fire and ice, and Enya went as ice/Elsa, and
no, I'll tell you what happened. Well, oh yeah, we'll get into that.
And then I went as fire/Will Ferrell. Blades of Glory.
Fire burning on the dance floor.
And so like with my outfit, I always originally wanted to do the turtleneck with the jeans and then the blazer. But what had happened was I got a blazer from Marks and Spencer's. Went in, because obviously I lost all the weight. I went in and got measured and sized, and then I couldn't buy a blazer out of anywhere. Like they could only rent them, and I was like, obviously if I'm getting stuff done to it, I need to buy it. So went on to Marks and Spencer's, bought $1,000. Was getting delivered on the 5th of April, and the gossies was on the 8th, yeah. And the fucking cutting thing didn't come, like, and it was like the Wednesday, and I was like, I have no jacket. What the fuck am I gonna do? And I had to get it stoned as well. So it was so much drama. Rang on post. Apparently, it got held in customs. It wasn't gonna be there for another 10 days, he said, and I was like, right, that's out the window. I'm gonna have to go over. Went over the best. So that blazer out the Marks and Spencer's cost me 160 quid. Went over the best and got another blazer, and it was a total different one. It wasn't the right one because the one I wanted was all satin, and do you know what I mean? And the other one out of best cost me fucking another 160, and then to get the fucking thing stoned was like another 130, and I only gave it to her the night before the gossips. I gave that to her the night before. Michelle, thanks so much, but she couldn't do a lot like to it. She only had a few hours to work with it, do you know what I mean? And I got handed that at 3:30 on the day of the gossips, like literally got handed that, and I was like, if I don't like I have to wear it. Thank God I like that. It was
talk
lovely.
about cutting a fucking
short, literally, like, yeah. That's what happened with yours.
But no, see the way you were saying on post, like before I went to Dubai, I remember Gara was having issues with his passport.
Yeah.
He left it in the hotel in Galway, and they goes, oh, we'll post it back up to you, fast track it. We were going to Dubai on the Friday, and Thursday it still hadn't arrived. He rang up on post and like, yeah, that's not going to be with you for another week. Or backlog to fuck staff out with COVID, and it's just after Christmas, so people are still getting their packages and all, and it arrived the next morning. Yeah. I think they have to set you up for the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and then that's what happened. What happened to me? The fucking jacket came on the bleeding day, didn't it?
Oh, came on the day.
Yeah, and the jacket fit like, it fits so much better and so much nicer, and the lines were way smoother on it. I was like, yeah, but ostrich. But I said, you know what, I'll do it for the funeral.
Yeah, keep it up for the funeral. That's two black blazers now you have. What are you going to do with that one now with the flames?
I'll probably be buried in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Going out fire burn.
But I obviously was going as ice, and I was looking on a website called Oh Hello Clothing. Now they actually have lovely dresses for events and stuff like that. And the one that I got looked nice on the model, right? And looking back now, the model was like 5'9". Right, I tried it on.
No, but it was long on Horman anyway.
Yeah, it was long, right? But when I tried it on, it wouldn't zip up all the way at the back, right? And it was true to size. It was a size 10. Like, it was loose in all the right places, but it just wouldn't zip up on the back of me. And the thing was like, it was like carrying a duvet around with me. Like, it was that long.
Like Dr. Octopus.
Like, I mean, like, I had to gather about fucking 10 layers of the dress before I was able to take off. And I just said to myself, this is not going to work. Now, I only paid €100 for it, so I am going to send it back now on Monday. But
that's a lot of money though still. Like.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I never usually send shit back. I'm just like, the effort, but no, fuck that €100. And I'll never wear it. Like, so what I did was, I was stressed out. I was like, oh, fuck's sake, that's Jordan. His bleeding blazer didn't come, and now my dress doesn't fit. This is the Wednesday night I'm trying it on, right? So I said to him, we'll go up to Liffey Valley and we'll go into a shop called Quiz.
We had about 80 different shops planned. Where we were like, we'll go Quiz, we'll go Zara, we'll go to Fashion City. I was bringing her to Deb's dress shops and all. I was like, no, we need to find something like. Walked
So-
into quiz.
And we were rooting through the rails, and they have loads of dresses like for the likes of like Debs, you know, weddings,
yeah.
like events and stuff like that. And we were rooting through the racks, and Jordan pulls out this one, and he goes, "What about this?" I goes, "You look like you have to be about 7 foot to
Yeah,
wear
it was
that."
real long. It was one of those like gathered dresses. When it's
Yeah.
on you, it's gathered, but when it's up on the hanger, it's long.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh.
I had to
no,
be a stick insect to
I
wear
was
that.
like, she'll need to have a platform heel. I said, it'd be grand. You only have to walk in. I was convinced she'll have to wear like a chunky heel. But sure, you went in, you tried it on,
And it fit
and
like
it was
a glove.
gorgeous, and it
Yeah.
was lovely,
It was
and
a
it was
size-
on team.
It was on team, yeah. It was a size 12. Like, it was a little bit loose on me, but comfortable. So, you know the way down some dresses, like, you
Yeah.
can't even fucking breathe in it. Like, if you're bloated or something, like, you think the thing's going to burst. But it was actually really comfortable. And, yeah, like you said, fit the team. It was reduced. I think it was only like €60.
Yeah.
Got a pair of shoes.
Shows match, yeah.
I had ordered shoes off Boohoo as well to go with the original dress. I'm going to have to send them back as well. But, like, yeah, it ended up coming together in the end. Didn't have to go to any other shops.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Yeah, and I did your hair and makeup.
Yeah,
and we were
Jordan
grand.
did my hair and makeup, and he did a lovely job. Everyone was texting me asking about it. People were just like, I was actually in the hairdressers the day after the Gossie's getting a blow dry because my hair was caked with the hairspray.
Well, sorry.
Thing wouldn't budge. And someone goes, what you say? Did you enjoy the Gossies, the girl that works there? And I was just like, oh yeah, it was great. There was a girl getting her hair done. She kind of double looked. She was like, was that you last night in that blue dress? And I said, yeah. She goes, Jesus, you look like a completely different person now.
Our
she
drag.
was- yeah, like she was laughing kind of like, I was like, I know.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't even that hungover or anything. But
What was I saying? Like when I was doing your hair and makeup, I was like, I'm going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Like I'm not pulling out. I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm not playing jokes.
it was
Like,
lovely though.
this
Like,
is it, yeah, because I was supposed to do two other girls' makeup as well at the event. Because remember,
were you?
yeah, we were supposed to get a hotel room, and we were just like, "Do you know what? No, fuck this. We done our own thing. We proper like. What's that word? Like we just fucking bojangled it, didn't we? We just went along with and winged it, like,
yeah.
and done our own thing. Like it was fucking mad in the same sense. But then, like, yeah, so I was supposed to do two other people's makeup, and then I was like, it didn't end up happening. So I was like, well, I have to put on everything into it to make her
Yeah.
look. I would have done it.
We were
Anyway,
cutting
but-
it tight. Like, Jordan walks around the corner from his house, and we were getting ready in his house where the car was going to pick us up because we booked a Mercedes Benz to collect us. We were like, we have to go in style. I'm not
Oh,
going
biggest
in
waste of money ever.
in a fucking Prius. I'm not pulling up to the convention centre.
You
in a
might as well
fucking
pull up in a
Prius.
epoxy Yarvis now
I
and grab a
know.
bollocks.
No one was even outside
one
when
even
we
gave us
pulled up.
look
Here we
inside.
were. Here's the grand entrance.
Yeah, the paps were like,
Fucking tumbleweeds. But we were cutting it tight. The car was picking us up for 6. We didn't get around to Jordan until 6:15.
And there was your man fucking sitting there. I was like, who's that outside my house? And he goes, I think that's the car.
Yeah, it
I was like,
was.
oh, here, what were we like? Enya is like anxiety. And anyway, she was like, come on.
Yeah, I hate being late when someone else is waiting on me. Especially when it's someone you don't know.
And then the fucking dog.
Yeah, but the fucking money we paid for, like,
I know, yeah.
I looking back now, I didn't give a bollocks if it was 15 minutes late. Like,
Yeah, true, yeah. And he was lovely.
he was,
was
yeah,
so
he was real nice.
He was saying about
Jordan was blaring fucking
Britney.
Britney Spears, and like this
Yeah.
this fella's about bleeding 70 odd, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
well,
he was
show,
like, I like that.
will I show you the music I like? And it was all like Beethoven and all. Like, I was
the
like,
Eagles.
I was like, no, we need a bit of fucking uns.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You went in and got dressed in my room, and my dog, like my dog is like my baby, and like she was like, Jordan, get that dog out. I picked the thing up by the neck. I said, get her out. I shut the dog. Here was Enya's that fucking mongo with the dog. The dog was standing behind me, and she's like, oh, Jordan. She's halfway down the stairs. The dog's sitting there looking at her and wouldn't walk. I said, Enya, walk.
you didn't see it when I was walking up your stairs with the dress. Betty fucking bit it.
I'd
and
have
was-
kicked her.
and
That's
was
the one I
hanging
don't
out.
like. I'd boo her in the fucking tooth. She'd be grand.
Anyway, so we got into the car. We were having our little cans of pink gin, and yeah, we got there. Not a sinner to be seen. I was just
Oh,
like,
literally.
€80 on that fucking car we paid.
Oh, stop.
Next time I
Even-
will be getting a fucking Prius.
Even we got there for like instead of 6 o'clock, and we got there for like
But it was still kind of empty.
6, kind of, yeah, it was fucking, we were like, oh, really early. But in fairness too, like, they had the thing set up absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Like, they went all out with them decorations. Like, it was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was, and like, it was a big space to fill, and they fucking filled it. Like, there
it
wasn't,
was.
there was like, when you walked in, there was all like pink balloons everywhere. Then there was the pink carpet, and then there was a big table display to tell everyone where their tables was. And how many tables did you say there was?
I think there was at least 24, 25.
25, 20 to 26.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loads.
And because it really matters, we get the number right.
Yeah.
And we walked in, and then there was a big like Aperol spritz bar. Then there was like
Yeah, where they were giving out free like Aperol spritz.
yeah, they were
drinks.
giving out free Aperol all night, and then they had like this big turnstile thing, didn't they, for a photo opportunity
Like
with
a
Aperol. It was like
360,
a
yeah.
360 camera. Did you ever see that thing on Enos or Fashion Police? It was one of them. Then they had like photo booths. They had a TikTok video team. We actually have to post that.
I never got emailed that.
They don't
I
do
still haven't got
pictures.
emailed it. And then the only thing I didn't like about the room where all the tables were, it was very dark. So like you had to go
there was no
outside if you
lighting
wanted a good
opportunity,
picture.
And then it was too bright out there.
Yeah,
it was too bright. It was like,
yeah.
oh, the contrast is horrible.
But anyway, we went when we arrived. We had done the pink carpet, and then we seen like the sign where it was telling you who was on your table.
And our fucking table was a doozy. We got a deadly table.
We actually probably were at the best table. So this is who was at, right? Una Healy, Lindsay
from the
Bennett,
Saturdays.
Darren Garrihy, Carl Mullen from 2FM, Teddy Sars, Faye Winter from Love Island, Tig Fleming, Derry Fleming, and Kiki Nugent and her fella. Now, the only people who weren't there was Tig Fleming and Derry Fleming. They didn't arrive. And I'm not messing. When I put up a picture of that table, everyone was texting me, oh my God, best table ever. But
Same.
But I'm telling you now, like, it was a real antisocial table.
Yeah,
like,
because we had the table with the most celebrities on it. So they were all like, I'm not saying everyone, but like there was one or two people that were just a bit like up themselves. I was like, yeah, whatever.
So,
but it wasn't Faye and Teddy, and it wasn't Una.
Or Una and Lindsay.
Yeah. Or
Darren and Carl. Yeah,
we might as well fucking say it.
Yeah, but like, anyway. So actually, the people we were socialising with most on the table were Faye and Teddy.
Like Faye and Teddy were the fucking crack. I have to say, like, I had them cracked up.
Remember Teddy? Oh, I love this guy. I love this guy about you.
I know. I was pure showing to me fucking surgery scars and all. I was like, I got the gastric sleeve, but just stop.
He literally shows him a picture of his fucking half-cut stomach. I was
I said, do you want to see me dead stomach? And Faye was like, yeah. And we were just swapping pictures of fucking dogs all night. And I was like, do you want to see a whole cat Dimpna? And she was
what's her name?
She was like, Kitty.
Yeah. I don't think she understood what we were saying.
No, sure. I was like, what was I like? I was like a Dublin translator all night. She was like, who's this? Who are these people? Who is this? What's this? And I was just pure like, even when Rachel Garvey, we ended up sitting with her that night. But when she got her award, Faye didn't know who she was. And I was explaining like Rachel's journey and all that. And like, literally Faye went on straight away and had a look at her page and was like, oh my God, she's done look at all the kids and all. Like, and because we were all nearly crying when Rachel got her award because it was so emotional. It was lovely. Like,
oh God, no, I have to say, like, at the end of the night, we went over and sat with them because I think everyone just like mixed and matched through the tables at the end of the night. But we sat with Rachel and our sister, and Aaron was there, Aaron McGregor, and I have to say, the fucking crack we had with them too, Amy and Rachel. Like, they're just like our own, do you know what I mean? Like, they're from a working class area.
Yeah, we were like, because obviously Rachel's fella's passed away, and my ma, give her a shout out on the podcast again, but like, we were just slagging, like, that's the way you do it. Like,
we should just call this So Over It by Tammy, like, we should.
But like literally that's all we were just having the crack and just pure bonding over like your grief and how you have to just get on and do your own thing, like, and then just having proper, like, the two of them are down and out with the nicest girls.
And I was like, how long are you living in Offaly? Under like 20 years? I was like, you still have thick Dublin accents.
Yeah, but
like,
the two of them are the exact same voice, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you close your eyes, like you could you wouldn't know who's who.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but they were gonna leave before we sat down beside them because God love them. Like,
they got tired.
And I agree with them as well. It's a place, if you went to Force, you would definitely feel out of place because there is a lot of, like, there's a hierarchy, I feel, in the influencer industry, and like people go on their own. Like if you want to bring a +1, like Jordan had to like fucking pay basically to go because he wasn't nominated, and basically like there's a lot of influencers who'll say, oh, I'll go on my own, so I'll meet you there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was that type of attitude.
Or then if you're not a certain like rank or this or that, you don't get looked at. Like, say obviously like Maura Higgins or whoever, like they were looked after all night. Like, Teddy and even Teddy and Faye on our table, like they were literally chaperone minded all night. Like their bar was covered. It was so funny. Like I was getting a drink and Faye was getting a drink. So like, will we get a drink? And Faye said to the girl, yeah, can I just get like whatever gin cocktail is on? And I said, yeah, can I get the same? And she comes over and hands Faye her drink and Grant whatever and moves on to me, and I was like, thanks, took the drink and turned around and she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, here, you have to pay. And I was like, oh, alright. No, not that I minded paying, but it was just funny to see the difference of how they were getting treated to like a normal person.
Oh, like, I mean, like, there's such a hierarchy. And at one stage, someone got up on our table and literally looked right through us and turned to Faye and Teddy and goes, are you all right for drinks, are you? And I'm just like,
what are we
peasants? Like, I couldn't get over it, and I knew the person as well. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just rim licking. Like,
it was like there was a lot of that. Even like, and then before that person turned around, she said she hates me.
Yeah.
Do you know, and I was like, why do you care of her opinion of you? Like, she's probably never going to think of it again. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
But, like, that's, I think, they found so endearing about us is that we weren't, like, annoying them or anything like that. We were just having the yap, like, we were
talking
two strangers.
About normal things.
I had a funny, like, inkling with them before I, like, a little run-in before I met them at the table. I was walking out, me and my friend Jade Mullet anyway, on Instagram, she's amazing. We were walking out for our smoke, but Jade had this like big, roughly kind of like a wedding dress
Yeah.
on, and she had to like pick it up and carry it with her everywhere she was gone. But she was walking, and she was walking out past the red carpet, so she probably saw that was a picture opportunity. So she put the dress down to walk, and I didn't see her put the dress down. I stood on the back of it, and I went, "Ooh!" like all over, and everyone just came to and look at me. But as I did that, Teddy and Faye were walking in, and Faye was like, "Oh Jesus, there's a dress stand there, don't stand on me." And I was like, "And I'm on your table, I'm gonna stand all over your dress." And she was just laughing. And then the next time I meet them, it was like, "Hey, there's the guy that
Yeah,
stands
because
on
I was sitting
dresses."
you went out for a smoke, and I was the only one at the table. I was sitting there on my own, and next of all, I was like, we actually only copped them. We seen the names on the table. I was like, oh yeah, know them. And then we were standing at the bar, and I looked at them again. I looked at the table again. I goes, Jordan, that's Faye and Teddy from Love Island. That's on our table. He's like, fuck off. But anyway, I was there on my own at the table waiting for you to come back for a smoke, and they were the first two to arrive at the table.
Oh really?
I didn't know where to look. Yeah, because I wasn't very fond of Faye and Love Island.
And you were a bit shitting.
I was no, well, yeah, like I just didn't know. I just didn't like the way she told us a lot of secrets about Love Island. I don't know whether are we allowed to talk about on this or
No, I wouldn't.
yeah. Well, basically, she just said it's not all as it appears on the
Nothing
screen.
is yeah, and they do. It's an edited show, so they do edit a person a certain way.
Yeah.
But she is very like herself. What can she be? But like, she's a girl from London who, like, a girl from the UK who was on one of the biggest TV shows in the world. So of course she's gonna have a little air about her. But honestly, they were lovely. Like, and
Yeah.
Teddy was like, but I have to say, Faye had Teddy's balls in her hand, but he knows his fucking place.
He literally worships the ground that woman
Literally,
walks on. Like,
hands on her thigh all night. I'd say he didn't look at a girl. I have to say, there was one girl at our table and she was tits out, red lip, like, she's literally sitting here going, like that all night. And if you were straight, like, because she's that, like, playboy looking kind of girl, like, you know what I mean? She's long dark hair, and of course you'd be into that if you were into it. And I'd say Teddy was like told, don't even look. If Faye was like that. And so
really?
he knew not even to look in your one's direction, like, do you know what I mean? But like, it's just, how can you be sitting at a table and have his backs to each other the whole night? Like, say hey, like, what did, like, one of the girls stood up and shook everyone's hands, and so did we, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked to everyone.
Yeah, sure. Even Una, like towards the, I was starstruck
shitting.
looking at Una as
I was the most starstruck, honestly, with Una, because, like, I always say that, like, right, as much as we all give the Spice Girls credit for, like, our childhood and stuff like that, the Saturdays are our teenagers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The Saturdays are the ones who, like, when I was a teenager through the end, like, they were the music I listened to, and I fucking loved the Saturdays. I'm like, Una Healy is Irish ginger spice in my eyes.
Like one of the Saturday songs. That's
Issues.
No, not Issues. They have the one with that's featuring Sean Paul.
Oh yeah, on the Saturdays.
Yeah. What's it called?
Oh why are we?
Yeah, that always reminds me of like when I first started going out like to nightclubs, the Ark,
the summer.
at Iffy Valley. But yeah, I didn't even know that she was drinking. And I seen her drinking water, and then towards the end of the night when people were getting up and walking around like and dancing and stuff, she come over to me. She did, because we were only like 2 seats away from each other. And I didn't really know what to say, like, because sometimes you don't want to be a lick arse either. I'm like, oh my god, do you know what I mean?
I was sweating to talk to her all night. I kept going to do it, and then I was like, oh no, I can't.
But she came over to me. She's like, "Hi, I'm Una. Sorry, I haven't got a chance to talk to you." And I was just like, "That's actually so nice of her." Like, she could have easily been like, "No, people should know who I am."
And the girl in the between is her friend, like that friend's years, and that Lindsay, the girl in And she was like, "Do you want to come meet Una?" And I was like, "Oh no, don't." And she's like, "Get a picture." And I was like, "No, we're just stopping you."
Like, fucking dying for a photo.
Like, I know. But then literally went up and met Una, and then like, lovely girl, lovely chat. And because my friend Patrick James,
so nice.
He won the Voice of Ireland, and Una was his voice coach.
Yeah,
on the Voice.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm one of Paddy's best friends, and she was like, "Are ya? I love Patrick." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "He's like a Kiwi now with his hair and all." And then I got a video. I sent a video to Patrick, and she goes, "He said you look like a Kiwi." Poor ratting me out. I was like, "Una, you little rat."
Like, just like I love people like that. They're so down to earth. Like, even I said to her, I goes, "Are you not drinking?" She goes, "Yeah, of course I am. I'm on the wine." And she took the bottle of wine out of the ice bucket, and she started pouring me a glass. I was like, "Bet you anything that'd be about a tenner in Spar." And she started laughing into the camera. But yeah, no, it was lovely.
What did you think of the food?
Yeah, I thought the food was nice.
I thought the starter was gorgeous.
I don't even know what it was.
It was real slave friendly. What's the crack with that?
Real
like,
slave
it was real slave friendly. The portions were tiny.
The portions were. The steak was lovely, I have to say. I loved it.
I don't eat steak, but
it was very filling.
I just tasted it. It was disgusting. But I basically ate every bit of my dinner, like, other than the big chunk of meat.
Yeah, like the dinner was lovely, but I didn't get the dessert. What even was it?
It was like a chocolate parfait thing. Like, it was like a pudding in cup thing. I don't know. It was
I don't
lovely.
know what it
I
was.
thought it was lovely. But I hate when people put strawberry and raspberries with chocolate. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But you know what I didn't get? Like, I thought it was like, because the first time I went to the Gossies, me and Garrett, I didn't bring Garrett with me this time because it's just not his scene. He doesn't really like, he's not a social butterfly like I am. But the table that we were at the first time I went back in 2017, I think it was, like, it was like being at a wedding. Like, nobody
Yeah, it
got
was
up
a
and walked
carvery,
off.
like,
Like, no, I mean, like, in terms of socialising at the table. Everybody was like having the crack and all, and everyone was interacting. We made loads of friends at the table. But I felt like this year it was like,
Because it was a big event, in fairness, like, and there was a lot going
yeah,
on,
it
and
was a
like
lot
even
bigger. It was in the Hilton the year I went, like.
yeah, and I even felt like our table was really good, like where we were placed, where it was, like we were beside, like on the table beside us was the girl who was running the event, Amy, Mara, Ali, Mara, like all the
Erin,
big Dottie
Rachel,
O'Shea,
Gordon,
like
yeah.
everyone like was on our side. I was like, we fucking landed it, didn't we? Like,
I know, I couldn't believe it. I was just looking at the names. I was like, whoa. I was just a bit like, Jordan was like, look at this, take this all in and all. And I was like, yeah, but
yeah, I was like, regardless of me or whatever, I says, look, like, I was only there because of her, do you know what I mean? And I was like, take it in. You got invited here. Like, it's amazing to be, you're in this space here and now with all these people. Like,
Yeah.
give yourself a pat on the back. Like, regardless if you win or don't win, do you know what I mean? I'm in a really, really hard category. And in fairness, you're going like years and you still have
It's
your staying
usually
power.
yeah.
It's always the newer people, do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm not being bad, but Tyke won it, but Tyke has a team of people helping him with all
Yeah.
his videos.
Yeah.
Tyke, you don't have, I know you have your mom and stuff like that to depend on. Or I do a
the family
podcast with you,
really,
like,
isn't it,
you're
like?
kind of all on your own. He has the whole, so there's lots of different things for people to like about him.
Yeah.
But like, even in his acceptance speech, I didn't fucking understand a word he was saying. Let alone Faye was like, what's he saying? I was like, I haven't a clue. Oh, tis the great night. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, what is he saying? He sounds like
But
Brady Stokes.
to be honest though, like like those events don't really appeal to me. Like, I wouldn't really be into going to
No, I
events
like the
that.
smaller ones. The smaller events are the crack.
But I find them intimidating. Like, I know, like I said, Garrett isn't a social butterfly, but I am. But like stuff like that, like if I hadn't got you there, like I would have felt extreme.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, now we ended up with Rachel and all and Aaron.
Yeah, we had a ball.
But like if I was there on my own, I would have felt.
I knew loads of people there though. You didn't really know anyone, did you? Know?
Well, I knew obviously the people that I'm friends with on Instagram, but
Yeah.
like everyone else, like, do you remember actually Faye and Teddy? The amount of people who kept coming over to them.
I know.
Hi, sorry,
Yeah.
Faye. Sorry, Teddy. Can we get a picture? Oh my God. We got you a gift. We got you a present, and I'm like,
Why are you looking
What the
at
fuck?
It's mad because people
And they
are
don't
on
even
one
give you a
show.
second look.
I know, it's gas, isn't it? And fair play to Mara. Mara was the same all night. Mara didn't say no to not one picture. Like,
oh, she was hounded something.
hounded. Like, and someone came over to me and said, "Oh, did you meet Mara? Mara was a cunt." Like I thought, and I was like, "How is she a cunt? She's over there all night taking
Who said
pictures with
that?
absolutely. I can't say it, can I?"
Did she actually say she was a cunt?
Yeah, she went over and met her and said Mara was a bit of a cunt, and I was like, I think you're the cunt because."
Hold on a minute. You're getting pictures with fucking people left.
She's
right,
there,
centre. You're gonna
exactly.
get
She's
fed
trying to
up.
enjoy her night.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably was a bit short with you. Like she's probably tired. Like,
I seen a video on TikTok actually of, you know, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
She was in Italy on vacation, and two girls went up to her and asked for a picture and the video there. And she was like, "No, ladies, I'm on vacation, thanks."
yeah.
And it's like, what does she owe you?
Exactly.
She's on her holiday, like.
Yeah. Or like never interrupt someone and have something to eat. Like,
No.
fucking hell, like.
Oh, did I ever
If they're
tell?
in a deep conversation, now if two people are like nose to nose talking, like literally
Yeah.
like, and then someone comes up and you're pure like,
I'll never forget. I was in my local pub and I was getting a carvery, and I was walking to the table with my tray, and someone was following me the whole way. Right now, I only thought she was a child. Like I would have just kind of like, what the fuck? But
kicked her in the knee.
I sat down with the tray, right, and I was about to have my first bite. And she's like, "Enya, can I get a picture with you?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
like that,
"Did
about to
she
put something
actually
in your mouth,
follow me
like.
the whole way to the
Yeah.
table?" And I was like, kind of looking around as if to say, I was with my brother and his friend. I was kind of looking around to say, like, "What you do here?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And she goes, "I don't like that one. Can I get another one?"
Oh, fuck off.
Right, and then there was a group of people beside me, like old ones and hoofless, and one of them was just like, "Ah, no, that's not on," like shoving her down, and then someone goes, "Well, yeah, like, well, that's what she does, like what you expect." Do you know what I mean? It's like there's two
I
different.
don't ask for you to come up
Yeah.
with, like, it's obviously, there's a time and a place as well. Like,
Yeah.
But,
Anyway,
yeah, even like the dance floor and all, like, that was good crack. Like, we were having that, but they were like, the security was fucking, they were strict on, like, I would say the insurance was up the wall. Like,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, no drink on the dance floor, no this or that. I was like, all right, pal.
I don't think anyone in that
You can go
party
now
was
for a
into crime
smoke.
culture though.
If like that's why like Enya texted me, she's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "The walk to fire fucking smoke. You might as well walking up to Nailstown and back. Like it's the length of it."
What, did you have to go outside for it?
Yeah,
At the front
all the way
door?
back out to the front door where we got out of the
Oh,
cab.
fuck that,
All
wouldn't
the way
be
out
arsed.
there,
I'd
and I've
rather
done that
just
like
sleep.
5 times.
No, but there was one stage where you were talking to me and then you just disappeared. I said, "Where the fuck's he gone?" I was on my own. I had no.
Oh, you know what? I don't know what it is. Like when I have a drink, a cigarette just calls to me. It's just I need it. Like and I have no willpower. I'm like, yeah, cigarette. I'm dying now. I was out fucking last night. Now I'm bleeding dying. Chesty bitch.
So is that everything? Is that all the deal?
Yeah.
with
Well, the
gossies?
goss was good. The goodie bag.
Yeah.
The goodie bag was a good bag. I won't lie. I put a few more things than I should have into it. I was like, no one's gonna take that. I'll take that.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what they're there for. They're not
I
gonna get
threw
left.
half the
Like,
fucking shite in it. It was all like coupons and all.
yeah, no, but like the good stuff on the table and that the charger and that. They had a charging station.
Yeah.
And a portable charging station. They give you the things. So like I just had it. So I was like, I'm gonna put that in my bag. But then there was another one in the bag. And then I took more Cash Beauty. And then I took
Did you see that
another packet of crisps.
that liquid illuminator? Did you put that on under your foundation?
You can, or you can put it on your body as highlight.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
it's body
right.
illuminate, or you can put it on under your foundation, or as highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you know.
Yeah. Right, so I think
So
that
is
wraps
that,
up the gossies.
We were supposed to go to job.
No, see this thing, right? 2:15, we got in the taxi because the event was over at 2, and I was like, let's get a taxi. It's going to be chaos trying to get one when everyone's outside.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, we'll go to George for one drink. I was like, Jordan, what part of 2:15 do you not understand? I goes, we're not, everywhere's going to be doing last orders. I'd be surprised if we even got a drink. He's like, don't worry, I have swing. Basically saying he knows the bouncer and he'll get us in. We walked up, she looked at us, me like fucking Cinderella.
We
at
didn't even
midnight.
turn the corner. She was like, no.
Or closed.
And I was like, see, because normally when you're in there, like when you're inside, I have to, like, it goes till 3:30. Like, you don't have to really leave until about 3:30. But obviously, you just don't let.
But me walking around
I
the
can't
corner
say I've ever
in a fucking disco jacket
know.
and dressed like Cinderella and like.
I know. To be honest, I've never walked up to the George.
Well, I was telling you the whole taxi journey from the convention centre to George. We're not going to get in. And then we had to go and pull another taxi then. Lucky
I
we got one.
believed with every fibre of me being that
Well,
we would get in, and I knew, and I was sick. I said I'd suck your toe if you were right, and I didn't. I meant it because I was like, I believed we were gonna get in.
But I was delighted we went home anyway. I was only like fucking half drunk because my category was the last one, and I didn't want. If I did win, I didn't want to be fucking gee-eyed walking on the stage. So I was taking me time all night.
Oh God, love you, your little face and all. You was like so excited, and I saw your like little nervousness when they were announcing the award. And like everyone was like really hoping because I was like saying to Faye, "This is Enya's award. Listen, like," and she was like, "You have it, girl. Go on." And like when they did it, I was like, "Yeah, but like you deserved it. You are robbed."
I deserved it in me. But you know what, right? I have to give a big shout out to everyone in my community who passed me in the shops. Only thanks to me, ma. Yeah, ma was telling me you're up for an award.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, best of luck, congratulations and all. I voted for you. And like, I know all my followers obviously voted for me. Well, not all of them, like a portion of them. But for people to come up to me in my community when I'm at the shops and stuff and be like, I voted for you. Like, that actually means so much to me. So thanks to anyone who did that.
I voted for Tag. No, but even like,
you probably were the difference in the vote.
Yeah, I was the one swing. That's where I had to swing.
Yeah.
It was in the vote. Now, even I went to the Black Forge last night, like, and literally, and I'm not messing, like, about 15 people pulled me and were like, oh my God, you were at the Gossies last night.
Really?
Yeah, literally, like, it's like, we seen you, oh my God, fire and ice. And I was like, yeah, we were like Blades of Glory. But, like, it was great, like, to see that everyone, like, just supporting you around. Like, it's good to see that people love that.
I know.
I was like,
sometimes you think, like, at that event you might seem like a nobody, but in your community and like...
it's a big deal, yeah. Everyone was chuffed. Like, even though I was only a fucking +1, doesn't matter. I was still there and I was like delighted. I was like, that's deadly. And the little connections, like, Una Healy followed us both.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, she's so lovely if she's listening.
What I
She's
mean?
actually so lovely.
She's all.
But in terms of, like, do you think you did much networking? Do you think you're going to get much work from it?
Yeah, definitely. Did you not see me? I was like, I'm a makeup artist. I had Faye in a fucking headlock. I said, when you're coming back to Ireland, let me do your makeup. And she was like, I will.
Yeah, no, I hope she does text you.
Yeah.
Because she was saying, like, all the makeup artists in, like, the UK.
Yeah, she was saying that, like, the London, because she's from Devon, but she's based in London. So she was saying the London scene is, like, real model skin, like that kind of, like,
natural
soft, natural look. And she wants, like, a glam beat. I was like, I have you, girl. I have you, girl.
Would you go to a hotel, like, and do our makeup?
Yeah, go to a hotel and ride her. Money missing.
Yeah.
I'd ride Teddy. He is unreal. Like, no, seriously.
He's actually like a big
hot
teddy
in
bear. He's
person.
so sweet. He's such a sweetheart.
We were talking about he told me he used to be fat when he was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used to call him Teddy Bear, didn't he?
Yeah. He said that you're never going to get far with a name like Teddy when you're like chubby and young. And we were having like, it was a lovely little endearing moment. We were talking about like the pressures of him being on Love Island, like to be fit and active and all like that. When you'd see
the body on him in it though.
The body on all of them, but they're all just doing it like walking out for the cameras and stuff like that. They were obviously in their best nick, like to be on the show. Do you know what I mean? But he said the pressure. I said that's what everyone would just think about the girls and that weight, but it's the boys as well.
Yeah, big time.
Do you know
Remember your
what I mean?
man Jack Fincham that went out with Danny Dyer and He had a dad bod in it. He didn't
Yeah.
give a fuck. I think a lot of girls
That's what
fancied him
got him
because of
far
that.
though, yeah, but he wasn't walking out and over there, he was being
Yeah.
himself, but all the other boys
His
that,
personality, I think, like, and he was
Yeah.
good looking as well, but I
yeah,
think if you have a shy personality, you have to have a good body, don't you?
that's it.
Like, it's either one or the other, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because like you're hopeless. What's wrong with me? I'm fucked.
What do you think? Actually, we'll segue into another conversation now. What do you think about like fellas who? Because I see,
Personality,
no, I see it online all the time. These fellas who are literally like fucking chiseled, like I mean, carved from God,
And arseholes.
and they're arseholes.
Arseholes, yeah, because you don't have to rely on their personality to get them anywhere. I think their looks are going to get them everything. And there's nothing more endearing when a fella is stunning, has a good personality, and he's humble about it.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice a fella when he's good looking, he doesn't actually like believe the hype about him? He's like, would you stop? But I love
Yeah.
that. I'd be like, ride me now and give me a babies.
I love impregnate me, hockey me over, but like a seahorse, hockey
Rail
the
me,
kids out.
daddy.
Rail me. Thomas the Tank Engine, but I totally agree because there's fellas I follow and they no, I'm not even gonna give names, right? But there's fellas I know, lads, in me circle, and I mean I've spent a lot of time around them, and they have the absolute most like.
Warped view, like
No,
yeah.
like their whole personality is just fucking disgusting. Like it's rotten. The way they see the world is I have to spend this much on clothes for people to like me.
Yeah.
I have to treat people like shit so I can have this materialistic
And
lifestyle.
girls are disposable.
Yeah.
I can get anyone.
No
Like,
no value for women or
yeah,
anything like that.
It's just another, like, I hate that, like, and then it's the opposite then for women. Like, a girl can go out and wear a dress from Shein, and could have sex with 2 men in her life, but she's a big dirty whore because
Yeah.
she's wearing fuck on, she has to sleep with 2 fellas. Whereas he's after riding 60 boards and he's wearing a €3,000 outfit.
Like I was only on Shein the other day and the clothes are fucking gorgeous, and I'm like, you have someone going out spending like €200 on a pair of sunglasses,
Yeah.
and
I think it get like with boys though, like you kind of have like, well, I'd wear all ASOS and it'd look well. I think anyone that goes out Gucci, sorry, Scarify, I wouldn't mind one thing, like if it was a
think it's
Gucci t-shirt
tacky,
or
yeah.
whatever, fine, whatever, that's grand. Even a Gucci wallet, that'd do me. But like,
would you ever see
a
these
girl
drug
can wear Shein and it looks stunning.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
She can get away with that and it look gorgeous and real expensive.
I know
But
what
if
you
a
mean,
fella,
yeah.
Like, it's like he feels like he has to have. If he had like a Boohoo Man on it or something, like everyone would be ripping him out of it. Do you know what I mean?
I actually seen when I was in college, one of the modules was psychology, and like we were talking about like how we want people to perceive us, and like people go out and they spend like €200 on a pair of sunglasses because they want people to know they have money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but
they
why
can't
would you
buy-
waste 200 quid on a fucking piece of plastic?
Because they want people, like, I'm not going to name names here, but there was a girl at the event and she has her own brand and she brought out her own line of house coats, and she's a lovely girl and all, but like they are very expensive, and the thing is, like, whether they look nice or not, people will buy them, put them on them, so someone can be like, where'd you get your house coat? Oh, I got it off this person, it's
yeah,
€300.
what are you gonna do? Fucking like go and
But
do
they-
your shopping in your
no,
poxy house coat, like
but
to
they
show
want-
it off?
But that's what it is, like you have people buying Versace house coats
Yeah.
or fucking morning coat or bleeding gaff house coat, whatever. Just so they can tell people how much they paid for it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like, that's the way some
And then
people live.
A £2 bedpost shoved up your hole wouldn't be able.
Like it's just Instagram and all. Like even Faye was saying, remember she was like, people are so fake.
But it's all about realising that. Like
Yeah.
I notice that all the time. Even see when I would go to George in drag, all them compliments and all that shit, that it's all fake. Like what Davina was saying, you have to filter all that shit out. Like, you know, people, when someone's like a fan, it's just, yeah, it's lovely to hear, but let it go over your head. Don't let that shit, like, don't let it stick to you. Don't take it all in and like let it make you big because someone is fucking filling your head up with shite. You have to understand like that you're grounded and where you come from and who you are matters more than what everyone else is fucking bullshitting you about.
I actually remember seeing a video of Robert De Niro saying, when you're winning, relax. When you're losing, relax, because it can be taken away from you just like
Yeah,
that. Do you know what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Going around fucking screaming from the rooftops, look at me, and then all of a sudden,
I couldn't give a gay. Like, I don't give a fuck about all that. So we were sitting there at the gossips and then, like, I hadn't a clue who this young one was and this young one was. And then it was like, that's that girl. And I was like, oh, no way. She has 1 million followers. Like, fair play to her.
we were even talking to, when we were at a table, like with our friends that we knew, we were sitting there and like we were looking at these influencers to have like, and this is how fake it is, like lads, if you are listening and like you want to fucking have a life on social media and you want to earn money from it, this is how fake it is, right? There was a girl sitting around us, right? I'm not going to name names. And I mean, she was getting her fella to take pictures of her, and she was doing like these poses, you know, like with your hands in the air, like you're having the best day of your life, like you're on a fucking boat or a roller coaster. And then like face went straight, arms went down, give me a look at the picture. Like
to do it
two
again,
different
yeah,
people, like
exactly.
two
It's
different
just-
people.
They're selling a, like a,
They're selling an
an
image, yeah. They want people to think, oh, look how good my life is. And like the first opportunity she had to
Yeah.
tell someone she's living in Marbella, I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
then like the people like where we're from and we're taking pictures, we're like loving our lives like at the gossip, and everyone's like, oh, delighted for you, like tell
Yeah.
me, and then there's other people
But
that
that
like,
is why people
oh yeah,
hunt.
just another night, like
That's
get up.
why there's a witch hunt whenever they make a mistake, because they come across that they're perfect and they're
Yeah,
not.
exactly. You have to show the good and the bad.
Yeah, you have to show the good and the bad. That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
it.
what we're talking about it all, like. So
But
yeah,
it's just anyway.
it's like way into the next topic,
So
which is
Boris Johnson
Yeah,
came out and said that trans women shouldn't be allowed to compete in female sporting
so that was
events.
his personal opinion.
So
like,
obviously, a man that's transitioning into a woman shouldn't be allowed to compete in female sporting events. What?
do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm real small and I'm a size 7 in shoes.
yeah,
Big fucking canoes. But like no, like what I just want to wrap up and say is that like I do think transgender people should be allowed to compete in sporting events. But I think it's still a very much grey area at the moment.
yeah, but it needs a lot more attention.
No,
I feel like.
and in terms of attention, I think a lot of, I think it's going to take a few years to look at the stats and be like,
Right.
in female competitions, who ended up winning? Do you know what I mean? Was it,
Yeah.
you know, when enough transgender women entered the competition, who actually was winning in the end, if you know what I mean? Like if it's coming out like trans women are actually winning more than natural women,
Yeah,
is
but
there
I
a
think
bit of
that's the thing, that's the stereotype is getting out there, that like the trans person is a big bulky and the girl is like little and dainty, and of course they're gonna overpower her. But what I'm saying is, if they're the same weight, height, and their BMI and all,
I know, but I think it's going to take a
and
couple of
they're all on
years
a
to look at the
playing
stats.
field, well then
I think it's just going to take a couple of years to look at the stats and see, is there an unfair advantage? Because
championships, whatever. Say if it's a championship, whatever. Obviously, they have preliminaries not to get there, so they have a track record to go off of, so they know who's doing what, how did they get there, and what did they do to get there.
Yeah.
So if they're all, say like 5 of them all on a level playing field, I don't see what's wrong. It just doesn't matter if one person's trans or not. If she could be beaten by the other girl, you never know. Like,
yeah, I think in a couple of years, like, you just kind of have to look at the stats and be like,
see what's up.
yeah, because I think right now you can't really say it's an unfair advantage, because there's no history of stats being like, well,
'cause it's new.
trans women are winning that female category every year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we just need
Or
to,
like the same with trans men, like
yeah,
certain
and vice
things, yeah.
versa, yeah.
Well, hope the best for it with them all, and I hope it all works out and everyone gets to be fair and equal. And
Yeah, because no matter what we
gets to do
say
what
here,
they
it's going to
wanna
be
do.
taken out of
It's
context.
not, well, we want the best for everyone and equality for all. So
Yeah, of
I hope that
course.
it just works out the best way it can.
Yeah.
You said you were having a lot of night terrors this week. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, like I don't know why it's happening, right? But I'm not messing. I'll have a dream, right? And I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought the house was on fire. I literally woke up and I was like, oh my god, there's smoke in the room, because I was having a dream.
You listen to Paddy talk too much.
No, I was having a dream that I thought there was a house fire. I thought like my house on fire, and I woke up and I was like, oh my god, there's smoke in the room, and I started waking up Garrett. I goes, inside is on fire, and I started imagining that I could smell something burning and all. And then like Garrett was just like, Garrett is used to it at this stage, and he's like, and you just go back to bed, will you? Because he's used to me waking up.
Do it, like.
And then I had this
Just
other
start
dream.
talking and all.
Yeah, and listen to this, right? I had this other mad dream that I was in bed with someone else. Right, and I
Did you
did.
get frightened?
I thought this was real, right? And I'm in my fucking bra knickers, right? And I think there's someone lying in the bed beside me. I feel like it's a Saturday night, and I have to go home with
So you
someone,
go
right?
sleep in your bra
No,
knickers?
will you listen? Right? So I'm thinking there's a stranger in the bed beside me, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in my bra knickers. I'm fully awake at this stage, right? And I'm thinking this is real. And I'm kind of covering myself to be like, I don't know who this person is. Oh my god, I have a boyfriend. What the fuck is that happening? And I'm looking, and I'm just like, that's not Garrett's head. That's someone else. I thought it was a strange man in the bed beside me.
There's a
And then-
stranger in the bed.
And I was like getting up, right, and I could only see the back of his head because
You're like, Garda.
yeah, and I was tipping. I was like, Garrett, and he goes, what? I goes, oh my god, thank God. I thought it was real. I actually thought I was after getting into bed with someone else. That's how fucking freaky
Paro,
they are.
yeah,
like
that's
you
mad.
fully
You
convince
believe it,
yourself. And then there was other ones where like I got up, right, and I thought the wall was closing in on me. And I got up and I goes, Garrett, quick, get out, the walls are closing in. And he was just like, go back to fucking bed.
You
I'm
need to fucking smell a joint or something before you go to
I'm
bed.
getting sick of this, and
Do a bit
you're
of
waking me up
CBD.
you're waking me up in the middle of the night. Yeah, CBD. I actually have that.
Do a bit under your tongue. And go to bed. Yeah, like when I was a kid, I was the same. My imagination used to run away at me. I used to share a room with my nanny until I was like fucking 10. And my nanny used to have this big long winter
Attachment
coat.
issues.
Yeah. No, it was because fucking lived in a council house and that's what you have to do. Like, there was no fucking room. My nanny had this big long winter coat, like, when she'd hang it on the back of the door until it was fucking winter. But, like, it looked like a shadow of a person at night. And I would convince myself, see if the door was open, it'd creak. It was like a person and the head was popping in and out behind the door. And I'd be like, Nanny. And she'd be like, what? I'd be like, close the door. And she'd like, it is closed. And I'd be like, take that coat down. I was convinced there was a man there. Like, you just know when you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're that involved, you just think you see it, like it's happening. It's mad.
It's terrifying. Or
Yeah.
when you believe your dream is real life and all, and you wake up and you're like, oh
Did
my
you ever
God.
have sleep paralysis? That I would never wish that on anyone. I've only ever read about it. I've only experienced it once, and
No, I
when I read
haven't.
about it, I was like, "Oh God, that's horrible." But then when it happened to you, so sleep paralysis is literally like your mind and your eyes are awake,
You
but your
think there's
body
someone
is still
sitting on your
asleep.
chest or something?
Yeah, it can be different things. Like you panic that you can't move. Your body is still asleep, and it's not registered that you've woken up yet. But your eyes are awake, and you're awake, and you can't move. So you're like locked, trapped inside your body. It's like you're in a fucking coma.
I don't
And
think I've ever had that now.
it's vile. And why one happened to me was I sometimes sleep on my stomach and I was down and I was my head was turned to the side but like my arms were locked and my eyes were open but there was a fucking demon. Like this is what I saw in my dream. There was a demon pushing my head into the pillow. Now I swear to God it was something that, like was pushing my head into the pillow like so I couldn't breathe and all I could see was my eyes like and I couldn't breathe in the pillow. I couldn't move to wake myself to get up and I swear when I broke over I pushed myself off the bed screaming, crying, gasping for air. I was literally like there was a demon trying to kill me. That's what I felt like. I literally was on. I couldn't even go into the room. I turned the light on. Like I was horrible. And then I started googling things and freaking myself out. Done a big Instagram post, and the amount of people that actually experience it is wild. And apparently, if you sleep a certain way or if you have like your feng shui in your room, you can invite certain spirits into your room, and like you're actually asking for it to happen to you. Like if you, yeah, no,
You'd
swear to
ask
God,
for it to happen
no,
to
yeah,
them.
but like apparently like entities and evil spirits and all that can come into. If you lie on your back asleep like that, you're apparently asking for like a evil entity to come into you. Or it's mad. Like what?
Well,
I hear
apparently my disorder is called sleep parasomnia. A parasomnia is a sleep disorder that involves unusual and undesirable physical events or experiences that disrupt your sleep. So, what are the symptoms? So, nightmares, night terrors, sleep talking. I sleep talk something terrible. Sleep
What do you be
paralysis.
saying? Like anything?
I'll be like to Gary, yeah, I did hang the wash now. And he'd be like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, I did hang it out. And he goes, what are you saying?
Do
And
you
I'd
do
be
it in
like,
a little cute
"What?"
sleepy voice?
No. And I'd be just like, what happened? You know, like, I just sat up out of bed and I goes, what? And he goes, go back to fucking bed. You were at that again. REM, sleep behaviour disorder, sleep bruxism. Like, that's where you grind your teeth. I remember I had TMJ in my job because I grind my teeth. Sleepwalking causes you to get up. Now, I've never sleepwalked. But my ma has that, and they say it's genetic. She has that sleep parasomnia. How do you overcome parasomnia? Good sleep habits include keeping a regular sleep schedule, managing stress, having a relaxing bedtime routine, and getting enough sleep. Sometimes I think it's down to anxiety or like just not getting enough sleep. But
do you ever get like when you go in and you do all your skincare and your shower and your creams and all and you're just feel fresh, you get into bed and you have a lovely little night then like if you make that a thing, but sometimes you're just getting into bed and you're like, oh.
that is why I hate drinking, because you go to bed at all hours, you're waking up, you're not sleeping properly.
No, yeah.
Last night,
Your
because
makeup on, your clothes on, your room in bits, like
Yeah.
from getting ready. I fucking hate that.
we went to the Gossies on Friday night, and I didn't obviously go out on Saturday, which was last night. And I have to say, it was just Garrett was he was in work last night, and I have to say, I had the whole flat to myself. So relaxing, cleaned the house. Wasn't leaving the gaff. You asked me to go to the Forge, I says not a fucking chance. I was asked to go to another restaurant, I says not a fucking chance. Best Saturday night in ages. Woke up fresh as fuck and went to the gym. You just can't beat it. You can't beat it. No matter how good the night before was, you can't beat waking up fresh.
I agree with you on that one because I done the total opposite. I literally like was in work and I was like, you know what? I said to myself, I'm that tired. I was back to back. I was like, me fucking feet are killing me from being in here all day after the Gossies. And then I was like, right, I can either go home, have a nap and see how I feel, and I know what that's going to turn into is me not going, or I said I can go and drink now and just stay on it. And I had a glass of wine and walking it. I was literally half a cup from the one glass of wine. I was like, hey, will you collect me? My sister came around and collected me. We went into Super Value and I got more drink and then off I went. And you know what, I have to say, I felt so fucking skinny like last night. Literally, like I went in, got dressed. Normally, like beforehand, I'd have this whole routine of like planning what I'm gonna wear, hating every single thing, like judging myself to bits. Like went in, picked out an outfit and was like, yeah, grand, try it on, lovely, love it. I never do that. Here I was, I was out like a flash, literally bing bang bomb. I was done, and then I was in the forge having a laugh and didn't give a fuck, up dancing all night and all. Like, I never was like that, and now I have the confidence.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Like, that's losing weight isn't just about a number on the scale. It's about how you feel in yourself as well.
It's all in your mind.
It really is. And I find if I'm eating good and I'm working out, I look at myself in the mirror, even if I haven't lost weight, you stop that negative inner talk and you're like, oh God, stay me and all, look at me legs. And you actually start saying, oh my God, look at my arms. I love my arms and all, like you do.
And then when someone gives you a compliment, you believe it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I always say pay that forward. Like, I literally walk by a random girl, and if she's good looking, like, I'd say it to her. Like, there was a girl, like, I won't get too into it, but she was sitting there, she had a bit of weight on her, like, but she had the most beautiful face, like, she was stunning. And, like, I had to go over and compliment her on her makeup, and she was like, do you know what, you're the first person to give me, like, all my friends are getting compliments on, like, cause they're skinny little things. And I was like, don't be mind them. I says, get up and walk out, doesn't matter. I said, you've only a bit more pushing for the cushion. And, or cushion for the pushing. And I said, oh no, I said, look at you, you're stunning. I said, regardless. And I said, I'm at coming on. And I said, I don't lie. One thing I don't lie, I wouldn't walk over and fill your head up with bollocks, because I'm as honest as they come. And Tanya, you are gorgeous. And she was like, and so are you. And I was like, I know. Come on, we go for a smoke.
That's
you know what I mean?
And you know what? It just means more coming from a stranger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because of course your friends are going to be like, yeah, you look massive and all, but like when it comes from a stranger, it just means so much more. Like it does. And you know what? Whether you're fucking 30 stone,
yeah.
If you're happy in yourself, then that's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not happy, well, at least you know you can do something about it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Stressful periods.
And actually, that actually puts me onto stressful periods. Yeah.
Not as in like a period from your gig.
Yeah, well, that's a lovely romantic way of putting it. Menstruating is what they usually call it.
Stressful.
But anyway, yeah, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is dealing with stressful periods in your life. And, you know, coming from myself and Jordan, like we've all went through really, really stressful periods. And I kind of just want to give my take on it and how I get through stressful periods, because, you know, being in the public eye sometimes, having a big platform on social media, like it's not all like it appears.
No.
So, yeah, what goes on behind the camera or behind the fucking Instagram stories isn't always put on social media. So my words of advice would probably be, whenever I'm going through a stressful period, I always say to myself, do you remember the last time you were in a really, really stressful situation and you thought to yourself, I'm never going to be able to do this? For example, I actually get very stressed out when I'm going on holiday. I just don't like being away from home. And, you know, I kind of dread it. I feel like I'm not in my safe environment. If anything was to happen, I'm miles away from home. I'm in a strange environment. I don't know the culture. Like the same with Dubai. Like with Spain, I'm kind of used to Spain because I've gone there so many times. But we'll use Dubai as an example.
It was totally different. Like.
Totally different, yeah. It's like, I think it's like,
Arab,
Muslim culture. Didn't know if I could do X, Y, and Z. I had to be so careful, blah, blah, blah. And I was shitting going over. My anxiety was through the roof. And even though I have good control of my anxiety, like nowadays, it's still, you know, sometimes it still creeps up on you. But I was like, I'm never going to be able to last through this holiday. I'm going to end up like wanting to come home, blah, blah, blah. And then you come home and 3 weeks later you're looking back and you're like, do you remember you thought you weren't going to be able to go on that holiday? Yeah. And it was one of the best holidays of your life.
You did it like.
And you were like, you got through it. So you have this coming up now in 2 weeks and you think you're not going to be able to get through it. Look at this situation in the past and think to yourself, 2 weeks after this situation, I'm going to say to myself, remember, I couldn't get through it. Yeah. I thought I couldn't get through it, and I did. I'm telling you now.
That works for the small things and the big things. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, big things are stressful regardless, but little small, you don't understand, little small things can really fucking stress you out and edge you up. Like you're going away on holidays, your money, your clothes, where's this, what's that, like, it does get you. And then when you get to, you're like, was that even worth it? All that fucking stress and panic, like, just to be here. And you're like, then I think you fucking set yourself up for failure that way. Like,
and I think you should be so proud of yourself, because I always say to myself, Enya, right, today you're taking off and you're going on the holiday. This day next week, you're going to be home and you're going to say to yourself, what the fuck? I thought I wasn't going to be able to get through that. And you did. Picture yourself in 2 weeks' time being delighted you got through it. Yeah. That's what you had. I know people say don't live in the future. Anxiety is all about living in the future. But when you actually have a positive attitude and you look into the future, I'm telling you now, it does. It changes things. Like,
what you put into the universe. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's
if you tell yourself you're going to be anxious and you're going to have a bad time, you're going to, like, say anything enough times and it's going to happen.
And the way I deal with it is, like, oh, Jesus, like I said, I used to be agoraphobic. I couldn't even leave the house. But you have to say to yourself, right, what's the worst possible case scenario? I have to go home. Okay, you go home. The only people who are going to give a fuck is you. Like, no one else gives a fuck about you. And I'm sorry, like, let's be blunt.
They're too busy giving a fuck about themselves.
Exactly.
It's the truth.
You're worried about making a fucking scene in public, or collapsing in public, or fainting in public. Like, if I seen someone getting sick in public, right, I'd be like, I'd walk by them. I'm already thinking about I'd already think about
what I'm having for dinner. Like,
I'm already thinking about my own problems 10 seconds later. Like, you literally, when you...
Or like if you want to go to the dentist and you're like, or like a doctor's appointment and you're embarrassed or anything like that, that person couldn't give a fuck. They see it day in, day out. They're gonna, when you go, they're going to forget all about it.
Like, do you know what one of Garrett's biggest fears is? He suffers with his stomach, something terrible, his digestive system, right? And for some reason, shitty kitty. For some reason, when he's on holidays, it always gets worse. But I
have anxiety.
And I said to him, I goes, Gary, you must have anxiety. No, I don't. I goes, yeah, but you've never been diagnosed with it, so you don't know what it is. And I goes, that is a symptom of like anxiety. Your stomach does be fucked. And now I think he has IBS, right? I do think he has IBS because it's just not normal. And I heard from someone who had IBS before, like sometimes it actually flares up when you're out of routine. When you're on holiday and you're out of routine, it can flare up. So his biggest fear is getting it on a plane. Yeah. And I said to her, goes, Gary, if you get it on a plane, there's 300 people on this plane that you're never ever going to see again.
What?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Go to the fucking toilet.
Go in and have a shit.
Yeah, go in and enjoy it.
Yeah. Have a long one. Yeah. Have a big wet one in the toilet, as you do. Like, no, but I'm the same. Like, when I was younger, I never realised that when I went to therapy, I discovered all these things clicked for me. It was down to anxiety that I had that. Like, when I would be stepped outside my comfort zone, I'd do something I wasn't used to doing. But it got to the point where if I had to, my nanny wanted me to go to the shop, I'd be on the walk over to the shop, and because it was something I wasn't doing, I'd be like, I need to go to the toilet, like, so I'd have to walk back and then go, or like I'd be literally standing at a bus stop to go meet my friends, and I'd be like, ugh. Or when I first started going out when I was 18, I'd literally be in the cab, like, I swear to God, I'd say when I was 18 I had a shit everywhere I ever went.
Really?
Yeah, I know the inside and out deepest toilets, like, I don't know what. Everywhere I went to, I would have to have a nervous poo. Like, do you know be like that? But it got to the point where I was having 3 and 4 at night. Like, everyone think I was on the coke because I was running into the toilet that much. And I was just going to scat my brains out.
Scat my brains out. Why do you always end up talking about shit on this podcast?
I don't know. It's just shit happens. But like dealing with your anxiety and all that, like what I do now is I go to like yoga and stuff like that, and it's all breath and meditation. So it's like breath yoga, so it's like you do from your head to your feet, and you learn, like, it's basically teaching your head and your feet to breathe. It's mad. Like, you're teaching your whole body to take in the oxygen and let it out, and just let the stress from you just taking it. If you feel like you're like on the biggest high in the world, like you literally feel like you're floating when you come out doing that yoga. It's amazing. It's the full moon yoga on Portmarnock Beach, and they do it like under the full moon in the beach and by a fire, and you like listen to, he's like a motivational speaker. His name is I think his name is Paddy. I have to get his name for you, but it's called Breathe, Trust, Flow on Instagram, I think it's called. And he is amazing. So you lie there and he like motivational speaks to you. Like, I sobbed me lamps out listening to him talk, because he was like, everybody is here for the same reason. Yous are all strangers, you don't know each other, but he's here for yourselves and to better yourselves and to be better in the world and this and that. And then like, now when he was talking to you doing all the breathing, I was screaming, crying, because I was just thinking, he was like, trust yourself. What do you want to let go of? Who do you want to become? You're going to be that person. And I was like, I know I am. Like, literally just sitting there. But you don't, like, everyone, like, you're breathing. You're doing breathing exercise. So it's not like, it's literally like that. Like, it's from your gut. Like, literally. So everyone is like that breathing. But you can't laugh around, like, or be embarrassed, because he's like, don't be minding what everyone else sounds like around you. Do it for you. And all. You're like, I am. Like, yeah, but yeah, like, I'm not messing you. Like, I can only do the way I can describe it is it's mad. It was the weirdest experience of my life. I had me like hands palm down into the sand, and I felt like I was attached to the earth from breathing. It was like
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no, like, but like I was like, I felt like the fucking grass and the sand was like growing into me, and my whole face, my neck, my chest was just like, I felt like I was like this doing the breathing, because like it wasn't. It wasn't that wasn't even acid trip, because acid trip is like you want to scratch walls, but like it was literally like I could feel my whole vibrating. Then see when I was done, because you got all that oxygen into your blood, it was like I was high. I was skipping, like I climbed up sand dunes and got down. You know, I'm like, if I have to walk over a hill, I'm like, yeah. I was crawling up the hills, not a bother to me, pulling myself out of grass, not like lugging a big bag on my back. I was like, I'll help you, doing a big fucking 25-minute back walk to the car. I didn't care, because I was just floating. Amazing. And for the week, I was set up for the whole week. I didn't have one bad anxious thought, and telling you, trust that breathing helps.
Well, Jordan's really after selling that.
Breathing helps you. It does. It's just
meditating and all is huge.
It is. Like, I never like believed in all that malarkey, but I'm telling you, once you do it, you're like, wow.
And when it comes to anxiety as well, like, don't let fear hold you back, right? Because if I let fear stop me from going to the likes of New York, Las Vegas, Dubai, fucking wherever else,
Doing your videos even.
doing me videos, I would never leave the gaff, never. And I'm just speaking this from experience, right? Anytime I'm anxious going on a holiday, or even it could apply to any event in life that you're stressed about, right? Think about a time where you thought you couldn't do it before and then you did.
Yeah.
And if you let fear hold you back, you'd never be able to say to yourself, well, I got through it before, I can do it again.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't let fear hold you back, because if you let fear hold you back, you're never going to fucking leave the gaff. You won't. You have to just do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're fucking shiting your cacks, you have to just do it.
Like
I'm telling you now. But like,
don't be a Garapia, Enya.
but like, yeah, but like, it's something as big as, like, you know, some people are very nervous of flying. And they just avoid going on holiday because they don't like flying, and they'd rather get the boat around the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But no, you have to
Make
get on
it the
it.
hard way. Just go for it, yeah. But it's easier said than done sometimes. But if you need a Xanax, fucking do it and go on the plane.
Yeah, well,
But like, I saw this TikTok today, and it was like saying, like, imagine you died and you met the person you were supposed to become, and it was beautiful. I had to reshare.
I know.
I met the person you're supposed to become, and you didn't become that person because you let fear get in your way. And that person standing in front of you, and they're after achieving all the things you wanted to achieve, and you're looking like, how would that make you feel? And I was like, oh my god,
it's so
like,
motivating, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I'm like, oh, I need to get this shit on the road.
Actually, yeah. Give us your would you rather, because that was a good one.
Oh yeah, so we'll jump on to would you rather. The would you rather is, would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren? My opinion on it is, I think, like, the past is the past, and we have records, and like your ancestors, like, there's photos and there's memories and stories of your ancestors. With your future, no one knows what the future's gonna hold. So like, I'd like to go into the future and see what they are, and what world they're living in, and what it's like for them, because it was like, my ancestors say, like, our ancestors, like, 200 years ago, was a total different world they lived into now. So imagine what the world 200
years. We are living
years,
like kings compared to
I
them
don't think
now.
I'd have any poxy great-grandchildren. I'd have nieces, I'd have ancestors, but not, like, I don't think
I'd love to see, like, the gene carry on, like my dad's sisters and, like, some of my cousins were all in the entertainment industry. I'd love to see, like, did my great grandkids end up, like, being entertainers or dancers or whatever, like, just to see
if
did it go down through the bloodline, like, do you know what I mean? I think I'd like to see the future. Yeah,
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Raven, that's how Raven. But yeah,
we will do.
It was the same. No, we have top 10.
Yeah, top 10. So
Play the music.
top 10 within. So my top 10 is top 10 ways to get in shape for summer. Right now, I know we were speaking just there about anxiety, so even if it's just to make you feel good in yourself, there's a good place to start.
Exercise does help, I won't lie.
Exercise does
A
actually
little
help.
small bit I do.
Now, I'm not saying, like, you have to fucking stick by this, or if you do want to lose weight or whatever, but there's a lot of, like, toxic diet information out there online, and coming from someone who's been trained by a professional, you can take this to the heart. So, number 1, start off slow, don't go straight into the deep end. I see these girls going straight into these 1200 calorie diets, and they suffer for 3 weeks, can't hack it, and then rebound and gain back the weight, alright? You're better off just doing small baby steps, you know, getting 5,000 steps in a day, moving it up to 10 gradually as the weeks go on. You know, some people think that they have to cut out fucking curries and all like that, and they don't. It's all about balance.
Calorie deficit. No?
Yeah, a calorie deficit. Look it up, Google it. Google a calorie deficit calculator, and you'll find out what you should be eating to lose weight safely by the week.
By your BMI and all.
And try move more daily. So 10k steps a day, it's not a rule that you have to walk 10,000 steps a day to lose weight successfully.
But if you were running around, like, on a manual trying to sort out a dress for an event, like, you'd probably do 25, yeah.
But, like, I'm telling you now, like, a lot of people who drive, you know, they find, and probably sit at a desk for work, they find it hard to get their 10k steps in. So start off slow, like I just said. Make it a goal to get 5k a day, and as the weeks go on, gradually move it up to 10. It's just about moving more rather than sitting on your hole.
Getting your blood flowing.
Third one, try cut down on alcohol to once a week and try not binge. Would you consider yourself a binge drinker, Jordan?
No, I wouldn't say
that. Just
no.
came out of nowhere.
I know, I'm like, geez, land me with another one there. Are you on heroin? Yeah. But, like, no, I think people who go out flat on the weekend, even when I go out drinking, what am I like? I have 4 or 5 drinks. I sip on my drink. I'm not mad for a drink, and I never really was, like, but I saw, like, someone saying, like, you can't have any more than, like, 10 units a week. Like, otherwise it's, like, really bad.
I think it's only like 4 drinks or something.
10 units is 1 unit, not a pint.
Is it?
Or 1 unit is like a small measure of wine, isn't it? Or
yeah.
half. Oh, alright, fucking hell.
But I mean, I can be a binge drinker at times, and I don't like it. Like, I mean, the night we went to the Gossies, I was actually very happy with what we drank.
Yeah, we didn't
because
fucking, yeah.
I woke up grand the next day.
So we what did we got? We got an Aperol Spritz, and then we were like,
Yeah.
and then we were like, you're done.
But I think stick to low calorie drinks, like, you know, Bulmer's Light, a small bottle of that is only like 90 calories. A vodka and 7-Up Free is only 90 calories. I think that's where a lot of people have their downfall, is on the weekends. They're good from Monday to Friday, and then they fucking just go on a mad one on a night out. And then it's the Sunday that catches up on you. The takeaways, the breakfast rolls.
Carvery, like if you go for a carvery, you're eating all that heavy starchy shit, like, and then you're having a pint of Bulmers or a beer with that, like, you're like,
and the curry on the way home as well.
I mean, 9 months pregnant.
I think, like I said, alcohol, you know, it's not the drinking, it's the next day where you're just fucking eating shit.
And then all
food.
them fucking invisible calories as well, like, it's wild.
Yeah.
Do you think
they do catch up on you?
I'm sitting here listening. Like,
get a gym membership or hire a PT to show you the ropes. So I think a lot of people who aren't too sure what they should be doing in the gym, like, you will benefit greatly from hiring a PT, even if it's only for a few weeks, to learn the ropes. So you're not going into a gym and you're just fucking lifting weights for the sake of it.
It's very daunting to go into a gym and not know what
you're doing. Yeah, well, hire a PT and get a private session. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of people who come to me and do that because
to take in, though, isn't it?
At the start, you know, it can be a confidence issue. So hiring a PT can actually teach you the ropes and learn you to actually feel good about yourself. Cardio is not the answer. I see girls that are terrified to lift a weight because they're afraid of looking like a man. And they'll just spend hours on a treadmill, especially after a night out. They punish themselves. So my advice would be, you know, get your 10k steps in a day. Maybe do a heated cardio class, 1 or 2 a week. You know, prepare yourself for the weekend ahead. If you have a night out coming up, make room. Don't punish yourself the next day when you're fucking dying of death.
Yeah, because like most times with girls, like it's one or the other. They either want to like lose weight or town, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
but I think the perfect combo is lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. And if you're not sure about how to do that, hire a PT and they will literally educate you on it. And then cardio should be the B option.
Cardio is just for your stamina, isn't it? Really,
cardiovascular,
yeah, it's just for your stamina.
It really is.
To be able to keep
Please
it to breathe, isn't
don't
it?
use that as an answer to lose weight. It's a calorie deficit and lifting weights. Because would you believe, the bigger your muscles get, girls can only get to a certain point with building muscle. You're not going to look like a man unless you take testosterone. The bigger your muscles are, the quicker your metabolism is, and that's the truth. You're sitting down on your hole watching telly, and if you're in the gym 3 to 4 times a week, you're sitting down watching the telly on your hole. You're walking out 3 to 4 times a week. Now, listen to me. I have to keep starting again because it keeps interrupting me. So, you're sitting on your hole for the 3rd fucking time, watching telly, but you're in the gym 3 to 4 times a week. You're burning more calories than someone who's not going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, because your metabolism increases when you're in the gym, alright? When you're lifting weights, when you're sitting at home on your hole, you're still burning calories compared to someone who's not in the gym. They're not burning any calories. They are, but not to the fucking...
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Will you do that again?
Yeah. So, if you're going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and you're sitting on your hole, right, you're going to burn more calories than someone who's not going to the gym and are still sitting on the hole. So, anyway, on to the next one. Carbs, protein and fat are your best friend, alright? A lot of people think, oh, if I eat carbs, I'm going to gain fat. Carbs are literally a source of energy for the body. The only way you'll gain weight if you eat carbs is if you eat in a surplus. So, a surplus calories. Google it. There's plenty of YouTube videos on it. Carbs are your friend. They're a source of energy. If you're not eating carbs, you're going to feel very weak, fatigued. You're not going to be able to lift shit in the gym or do any type of cardio.
That's what with my diet, it was like no carb, literally.
Yeah, well, that was when you were starting off, though.
Yeah, because it's so filling. Carbs fill you, don't they, for longer, and then you burn it. Like,
good carbs do, yeah. Protein
fills you, doesn't it?
A lot of people are like, oh, how do I eat protein? Where do I get protein? Meat, chicken, fish, red meat. You can get protein bars, protein yogurts, protein milk, protein. There's traces of protein in everything.
Do you know there's more protein in quinoa and blueberries and nuts than there is in meat?
Right, I find that hard to believe.
There is.
You'd have to eat a large...
If you think about it, cut it out. What's the chicken eating? To get all that protein in its body.
Oh, that's their complete diet. Like, they have to literally eat like copious amounts of that. Do you know what I mean? But like protein, another fact actually, your body burns more calories breaking down protein than it does with carbs and fats. So that's another reason.
Your body just burns calories existing, doesn't it?
Yeah. We're sitting here now and we're burning calories. Yeah, because our body needs energy to pump blood around the body and all that. So anyway, use a calorie calculator to get your calories. Don't just guess. Don't just assume, I'm just going to stick to a 1,200 calorie diet. Google calorie deficit. It's going to ask you for your height, weight and age and your level of activity, alright? When it asks you for your level of activity, put in the amount of gym workouts you're going to be doing. Don't just say you sit at a desk or you're not doing any workouts at the moment, because it's going to give you like 1,200 calories. So make sure you put in how many times a week you're going to the gym, and then it will give you a proper estimation.
If I put my information on that the calculator, I'd say the limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist.
You've exceeded the limit. Please step off the scale.
Will we actually find out what your calorie deficit is? We'll Google it now.
Yeah, Google it now.
Right.
But like,
So
don't do it on air. I'm not telling you we.
no, I won't. Right, you can just put it in yourself. Right.
I'm jealous.
TDEEE calorie calculator. So you're a male, yeah?
Yeah, well,
We've established that.
Sometimes.
So your age?
28.
28. Oh, God.
Do you want me
29.
PPS number for fuck's
And
sake?
then your kg.
I don't know.
Right, well, what's your pounds then? Well, put your pounds in there.
Sounds, I know.
Right, so what's your stone?
Yeah, look.
Right, okay. So you have to start doing the mime there to me. So, okay.
I mean height. Do you need me height?
I need your height, yeah. So you're
6'5".
28, 6'5". Are you 6'5"?
Yeah. And a
Oh
bit.
my God. Right, so
Doing it live on air, you guys.
we'll
Hey, you
say,
guys.
how often, what's your level of activity, right? So you're on your feet a lot for your job, aren't
Yeah.
you? So we'll say,
Half and half. It's 50-50.
right.
It is. I won't lie. It's 50-50. Because when I'm not in work, I'm like a pig.
So this is how many calories you need to eat a day to lose weight, all right? So starting off, this is going to seem like a lot, all right? But as you lose weight, it decreases. So you should be eating 3,000 calories a day.
Fucking hell. That's what, like, I was talking to Brian Guy and he was with the whole surgery thing, and he was telling me, give me your information and I'll know what little. He was saying I need to give you good high fats and good high carbs and good high protein that are small and impactful, that I can eat and
Because you couldn't go straight to a 1,500 calorie diet, Jordan. It'd fucking shock you, like.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how, like, it's because I eat so little, but like, think of it, if you ate like loads of small little pieces of crap throughout the day, that would build up to like 1,500.
Yeah, but you're not able to eat much anyway at the moment. So
But
you're
that's
probably
what
only eating half of that.
That's what I'm saying. Where like, how would I eat that with my predicament?
Yeah, well, see, you're a special case, like, in that circumstance. So
Yeah.
if someone came to me with your situation, I'd have to research that, like, because
Yeah.
a PT, when we go and do our course, like, we're not told about what about people who have like a gastric sleeve. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a special case. So anyway,
Is that a
yeah,
special case?
we have one or two more. Hold on, don't live by the scales. Oh my God, like, people literally have a donut and then they stand on a scale and they're like, I'm after putting on 2 pounds. Listen to me, right? That number represents your organ weight, your bone weight,
Yeah.
like the weight your
Density,
clothes on you.
like-
Yeah, your bone, everything, right? You need to be taking measurements. You need to be taking before and after pictures and how your clothes fit, right? That is the real, like, someone who is like massively obese would obviously notice the scale weight. Now, like, you're after losing weight, like, would notice it going down, all right? I think that, and obviously, yeah, it's a good indicator,
A lot
but
of people
it's not
say
the
they go
main
by
one.
their clothes.
Yeah, their clothes,
Yeah.
100%.
But even like with me, like with losing the weight, a lot of people that get this done, they live on the scale. They're going day by day, oh, this and that. And I've gotten, since I've come home from the surgery, I've gotten weighed 4 times.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't obsess, because I'm not
Don't
giving myself
obsess over
another
it.
thing to be obsessed about and go. Now, in fairness, every time I go, I always drop a serious amount of weight, so I'm always delighted.
Yeah.
But like, I'd be fucking sick after going through what I went through, stood on the scales and I gained. But like,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen, do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I just wouldn't live by that, like, fuck that.
I only lost 2 pounds, right? But I have a before and
You
after
killed
picture.
yourself. I remember you were telling me
Yeah.
about that. You killed yourself.
And you want to see my before and after pictures, like, there's definitely a difference. So muscle actually weighs more than fat. So
Yeah.
I think it's 1.5 compared to 1 pound of fat. So, you know, if you're in the gym and you're working out and you're eating what you're supposed to be eating, enough protein and all that, like, sometimes you can actually weigh more because of your muscle. So measurements and before and after pictures.
What's
And
your
most
last one?
importantly, the last one, be consistent. Don't do it for 3 weeks and then be disappointed you're not getting results, all right? You have to literally, like, see that shit out for 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
That's when the real results start.
Yeah.
And what's that saying? They say you know it's after 4 weeks, your friends and family know it's after 4, and the rest of the world know it's after 12.
Really?
Yeah. So, what are we so over?
Are we on the so over already?
Yeah, because we're coming up to half now,
We
and
didn't,
like,
poor
yeah,
Brittany. Poor Brittany
we
can go fuck off. Says Enya. Yeah, so we talked about the. Yeah,
so over. What are you so over?
I am so over myself this
Are ya?
week. Yeah, I'm so over myself this week because I just spread myself too thin. I'm taking on way
You're gonna
too
say
much.
Spread your legs.
I wish. Well.
You actually think you just need to be.
Yeah, I
you
think
need
I'm just-
boundaries. You need to start learning to say no.
Yeah, and that's not just like in a personal life, like,
Yeah.
or whatever, like with work. So I just think I put on too much for myself, and then with my family and with like going out and stuff. I'm just living my life at the moment, and I want to have that fun side of it, but then I'm like, I'm coursed the next day, and I'm just like, I should have just took the time for myself. and took a day off basically. And yeah, I'm just so over being a yes person.
Yeah, that's good. You need to learn boundaries. I remember I
Yeah.
went to counselling and like she asked me what are your boundaries. Like I was like, what? She goes, you have to stop being a people pleaser. Like that's and like sometimes would you think I'll just say yeah because you're thinking of like the money
I'd
you're gonna
rather
make
not
or
even the money. Like I'd rather just not have the argument. Sometimes
Yeah.
with people, like, or if like I was getting to a point where I was being very agreeable, and I'm like, that's not me.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, so
I'm
not
so
bad.
over actually binge drinking to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm just like I'm after
Rough
having a
out,
few of them kind of binge drinking like
you always get like that, don't you? You
situations.
hate to drink, like.
Yeah, well, like now, sometimes I do, yeah, because we were actually talking to people tonight, the gossies who weren't drinking, and I was like, why did you stop drinking? And they were like, oh, I just used to hate waking up the next day and I'd be hearing stories, oh, you said this to that person,
Yeah.
blah, blah. You do, you kind of get sick of it, and you know what, it's the next day, you're
fear
wrote
is
off,
real.
your productivity is shy for the first few days of the week and all, like, so I'm actually going to practice just like knowing me limits now on nights out.
Yeah, gone. Right, I've had 4 drinks. That's enough now.
Yeah, and like I said, the whole boundaries thing, like,
Tipsy. And we were a lovely drunk at the Gossies.
Yeah.
We were like, we weren't like, we were in the taxi, we weren't fucking going, me mother,
Nah,
me
mother,
mother.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we were literally like
singing Britney.
grand, like, yeah.
So yeah, I'm so over binge drinking because lads, like, why do we need to fucking get plastic drunk? Honestly, like the level
Yeah.
I was at the Gossies is what I actually aim to be now.
And
Every
the whole
night I'm
thing
out.
if someone's on a fucking night out and they're like, are you not drinking? Why? What's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, if someone says they're not drinking, leave them to it. Don't question it. They could be going through a lot. They don't want to drink. Like, just, alright, move on.
There's actually a good page on Instagram. It's called Sober Society, I think it's called, and it's actually a really good page if you are thinking of stopping drinking. And it's just like, it's what's it called, Sober Girl Society. But look, it can apply to lads as well. And it's just like they have like 174,000 followers, and it's just a community of people who don't drink anymore. And like, you
Like,
know,
flat out just. Done.
yeah, and they put up question boxes like, do you have any idea for navigating conversations around splitting the bill when you don't drink? You know, if you were to go out for food and drinks,
Yeah.
like it's not really fair that a person has to put in like,
Pay a bit, that's it.
yeah,
Like,
literally just.
I just say it. I'd be like, here, guys, like.
I only drank water and
Yeah,
I
I
ordered
know
a
I
meal.
hate to be that person, but like.
Why should you though?
I
I went
know.
out one night with me mates and I was up early the next day and I didn't drink and they were like, oh no, you didn't drink, so you just paid
Yeah,
for
well,
your
obviously,
food.
it'd be a weirdo to be like, say if like there was 2 people that didn't drink and there was 8 others that did drink and they didn't, like they got 10 cocktails each. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I'm
You'd
not-
hardly, like, I'm
yeah.
hardly gonna like go away.
But see Garrett, see my fella, like he's like a people pleaser. He'd be like, and you can't do that. And I'd be like, I'm not fucking paying
Yeah,
a quarter of their bill like when I didn't even have one drink.
yeah, not a sup of it that I have. Fuck off.
He's real like that. I always say to him, if we ever had a wedding, he'd want to be inviting people who literally held the door open for him 3 years ago. We have to end you. Like, no, I'm sorry,
No,
nick
yeah,
that
and,
shit
like,
in the bud.
Yeah, and like I'd be cutthroat like with
Yeah.
that. Like I'd be like, right, I haven't talked to her in 2 weeks. See you later, you're off.
I know, but you'd have no problem saying
She
no
didn't
to
say,
me.
hey, my auntie, I couldn't give a gay if you had me auntie. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
talk. Just see you later. No, I know.
Um,
I do be thinking about neighbours now, like, who would you invite? I'll say nothing, but like, I know someone that had like a wedding and literally did not invite like one neighbour off the road, and I was like, are you
I
for
know, but if
real?
you invite one, you have to invite them all. Like,
But like, you invite your best ones.
what about teachers? Like, see teachers that are like literally in the staff room with their mates every day. Like, what do they do when they have a wedding? They have to invite them all, do they?
Yeah, you'd have a walk table.
Oh no! Like then you're just like, if I invite one, I have to invite them all.
What would you do?
I wouldn't
'Cause, like,
invite any of them. I
Would you
wouldn't-
Would you invite? Like, if you got married now tomorrow, would you have like a social media table?
I'd invite them all to the afters, but like,
Wouldn't invite them to your
have a
man.
social media table.
Like your friends from social media that you like and talk to. Would you
Someone that I
invite
would
anyone,
interact with a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to interact with them a lot to invite them.
Think
Like,
about it, like.
so I'd have to meet them in person as well. I'm not just going to invite them because I fucking talk to them a lot on
Yeah.
social media. You know?
Can I be a bridesmaid?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can be
maid
a
of honour.
bridesman.
No, I want to be the maid of honour. I
Right.
want a better dress than you.
Guy of honour.
Okay.
Right, so that wraps up the podcast.
I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, we will be back as normal next week on a Thursday. And we hope you enjoyed all the goss from the gossies. And we will chat to you next week. Thanks
And
for
come here, we
tuning
didn't
in.
tell you half of it.
Oh, no. Good luck, good riddance.
And good night, God bless.